Hello and welcome to The Villain Was Right, the podcast where we look at movies and TV shows from the villain's perspective and dare to ask, were they really all that bad? I'm your host, Rebecca Reeds.
And I'm your host, Craig Fay.
And this week we are covering it was a suggestion.
Oh, was it? Okay.
Oh, absolutely it was, yes. We are covering Raise Your Voice, the 2004 Hilary Duff classic.
Yeah, because we're like, this is the weird week between Christmas and New Year's.
in-between week. I think this gets released on Boxing Day. It's just that weird period. And this is the type of movie you're going to watch during this period of time. Okay. This is exactly the type of thing you watch at this time, in my opinion. Raise Your Voice. Have you ever seen this movie?
No, this was the first.
I had a feeling.
This is the first go for me.
I had a feeling.
2004, I think I was in my second year of university.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
So
yeah.
A Hilary Duff movie wasn't high on my list.
I just before we even get into anything, I just need to declare my love of Hilary Duff. I love her. I love her.
Yeah, big Lizzie McGuire fan.
Oh, well, yes. First of all, absolutely. She was exactly my I almost feel like I grew up with her in a sense, where it's like, oh, I don't think we're that far off in age. Whatever she was producing would be at the same time of what I would want in media. So Hilary Duff was definitely like I missed the Hannah Montana thing by like a hair. You know what I mean? Just a little bit. But Lizzie McGuire, oh yeah. Also, I think Hilary Duff has been one of the few child stars that actually seems like she got out and kind of maintained being a bit normal.
Yeah.
And good for her, because that's hard. That's a really hard thing to do, to come out of being a child star and kind of seem all right.
Yeah, and she still act like she was in...
oh, yeah, she's still out there. She's still out there.
Like
I don't care what she produces. I don't care if it's garbage. I still watch it. I'm down.
You watch Younger and...
No. I'll watch a Hilary Duff joint. Absolutely.
And How I Met Your Father.
Buddy, that show was awful and I couldn't stop. I couldn't stop myself.
I didn't know you were such a big Hilary fan.
I love Hilary Duff. I love her. I don't know what. I couldn't even...
That's
I can't
great.
tell you why.
Oh, I'm happy we got to do this movie then. Like, honestly, it kind of brings me joy. Like,
my God.
You needed a win, Rebecca.
I did. You know what? I just needed a casual watch, and this was, thank you. Thank you to whichever listener suggested this. You're a star. You're awesome. I love it. And I think there's a lot of points to be made.
I think so, too.
I think you picked correct, okay? Because good Lord, are some of the villains in this movie absolutely, without a doubt, 100% right. So if you've never seen the cinematic adventure, the masterpiece, the 16% on Rotten Tomatoes, Hilary Duff film, Raise Your Voice, if you haven't seen that, let me just describe to you what happens. And this is genuinely the order it happens with. We start the movie, Hilary Duff plays a character named Terry. Her brother just graduated that day. They're having a great time. She's applying for a music program. Her dad doesn't want her to go because she is 16 and it's in LA and she would go by herself. And he's like, I don't want you to do that. Her brother's very much like, you got to embrace, you have to, live your truth, okay? You're a star. They go out that night. They get into a car accident. Her brother dies, okay? This happens almost immediately in the movie. She then, there's a little bit of a montage process. A bit of time passes. She gets accepted to the program. Her aunt and her mother say, we're going to lie to your father and we're going to get you there. They get her there. She has a couple of breakdowns. Things aren't going as she thought. There's, of course, a boy that's interested in her, and therefore she is interested in him for some reason. The same guy from What a Girl Wants. Absolutely. Of course. Of course. This man, I think, has 2 movies, and it's those. Like, he had a banger of a time for a short period of time. So, yeah. yeah, it's the same guy from What a Girl Wants.
Wow.
Yeah. Oh, I can't believe. Well, I guess you haven't watched either of these movies enough to know that.
Yeah. I'm not clocking the cute boys in Hilary Duff movies.
It's just because I've watched both. Anyway, it doesn't matter. So, she learns and she gains friendships along the way. And then her dad finds out that she lied and they go to pick her up, but it's the final performance. And that's it. And then she sings and roll credits.
And she doesn't win the scholarship either.
Well, okay, but we'll get into that. But that's the correct.
Yeah, I also agree.
Correct outcome. Sorry. Because I forgot who won, and I'm watching it, and I literally yelled at my TV. I said, "If Denise doesn't win, I'm walking." I'm walking.
You're in your own house.
I'm in my own house. I'm walking out. Okay, I'm gonna go for a full fucking walk if Denise doesn't win. This woman needs a W. She's been putting her whole pussy into this. Okay, this woman deserves a W. Anyway, so that's Raise Your Voice.
And there's Robin, the rival, sort of both romantically and professionally in there. Yeah.
So there are a few villains in this movie, I would say. First and foremost, of course, being her father.
Yes, big V villain on that.
Big V villain. He's the one that's like fighting her on her dreams or whatever. He's the villain, even though he's a parent that has just lost a child.
I cannot sympathize with him anymore.
I can't, dude.
This is, he's a villain. He's Robin, the rival. The girl who's like real mean to her for no reason.
I honestly I wouldn't even describe what she does to her as real mean to her, to be perfectly honest.
Oh, really?
I think she's a bit catty. I don't think it's that big of a deal what this girl's doing.
Well, let's start there then, because I got a lot to say about the dad, but I think we should save that for later. So let's talk about this girl.
So this girl, Robin, she's practiced more, she's been here more, she's trying harder, okay? She's watching a guy that she's really into leave her and pursue the next the new girl in class, like the new hot ticket. This girl's stolen I'm going to qualify it as stolen a solo from you. And again, I do believe mainly because she's the hot new ticket.
Right.
It seems like the teachers are falling in line with this. It seems like her ex is falling in line with this in a certain capacity. But this is also like the cute guy, Jay. Okay, Jay, the bad boy. Okay. This is a man that already has a reputation, okay? Like, Denise is already like, no, that's a bad guy. Like, that's a player. That's a guy that plays around. That's not a nice dude. Like, Denise tries to talk Terry out of this a few times, okay? So I don't think this is a nice boy, okay? So this girl, Robin, she's had her heart broken. This guy is still hanging around her. Like, it's not like he's been like, we're broken up, I need distance, I need time. Every time we see them in every scene, Terry's character literally thinks they're still dating because that's how they act.
Right.
That's how they both act. It's not even just Robin. So now she sees this girl coming in. Now, of course, she should be mad at Jay, but that's not how being a teenager works.
Sure.
Okay, you haven't learned that lesson yet, that it's actually the guy's problem and not this new girl. Okay, this is the person that's acting shitty, not this new girl that's awkward and she's just trying to figure her shit out.
Yeah.
Okay, like, is it placed in the wrong area? Perhaps. But this girl's getting dogged left, right, and center. All right, she's having a bad time.
She is. She really is. And like even by the teachers. So like one, Hilary Duff's character is struggling like to sing the songs properly and everything like that. And that's fine. Like actually I think the school is pretty good. Like
the school seems great.
It actually seems like they represent what teaching is like really well, which I always like to see in a movie. But at the same time, it's like she doesn't show up for one of the things. She's already been given a solo. It's been taken from Robin. And she doesn't show up for the class. And Robin's like, well, I'm ready to sing it now. And they're like, no, we won't bother. It's hers anyway. So that would just be. And I was like, no, that's she got dogged on that.
Yes.
Because I'm sorry, if like that's a lesson that you've got to learn. Like you miss something and someone else steps up. That happens.
Also, I'm going to maintain most improved doesn't mean deserving of top of the class.
Yeah.
We watch Hilary Duff's character become better, okay, have a big leap, okay, in confidence and style and presentation, but you're a flight risk also. You've given you've given Robin extra stuff to do outside of class. She's coming up to you and being like, yeah, I'm doing all of this extra work for you.
Yeah.
And this teacher's like, and quite frankly, that teacher gives me the ick in the biggest way.
Yeah,
that teacher is giving me too cool with all the students. He was giving me I try and hang out with students outside of school hours vibe.
I was getting that too, and I was having trouble putting my finger on exactly what it was.
Talking to everybody a little too close, being like the way he would say things like, "Where's that girl from the video?"
Oh, yeah.
Where's that girl from the video with the sparkle? Where is she? No teacher should talk like that. What the fuck? Try harder.
Yeah.
Where's the girl from the video? Ew. Like, just in the way he speaks, it's too friendly. It's too close. Like, he talks to people too close. Like, he's just in your personal space.
Yeah, he does that little, like, finger, like, thing with the students. Yeah,
with the students. He's got little handshakes and stuff. He kind of creeps me out.
He's wearing leather pants.
Yeah, he's wearing leather pants. Like, he's pushing his, like, whatever. Like, what was he playing off the top? Like a cello or something? He, like, pushes it over. I'm like... you're a teacher and that's a very expensive musical instrument.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
And it also didn't knock it over in a cool way either. Like it's not like a cool thing. It's like, oh, you smash your guitar on SNL. That's a cool. But like just
we've got 20 students in this big auditorium.
And I just kind of push it off my lap and it kind of just hits the stage and goes like wow a little bit. But you pick it up. Yeah.
Ew, sir. Ew. He gave me big ick.
Yeah.
He gave me big ick.
I was getting that too. Yeah.
I honestly, because I was like, oh man, if I didn't remember, like I couldn't remember how everything got resolved, but I remember I was like, I don't think he ends up being a creep, but I still was waiting for that to happen. Which is crazy. But I was still like, oh, like Robin and him have a thing or something. Nope.
No, not really.
Just like his vibes were off.
Yeah.
He was just constantly off with the vibes.
And speaking of teachers that I did like, and which is the Russian one.
Oh, he was
the singing coach, where he's just like, yeah, it's kind of that thing. It's like, is he evil or does he just have an Eastern European accent? Yeah. And like, no, where he's just like, no, you need to learn how to sight read. That's what I'm here for. Mm-hmm. And she goes, I'm sorry I'm late. And he goes, I don't care. It's your time.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't matter to me. You're the one who wasted your time. This isn't, like, everyone in this school is so good with, like, this is an opportunity for you.
Yeah.
We don't, that's, I think, the most adult way that you can treat a kid.
Yeah.
Right? Is like, this is for you. You get out of this what you want, and I'm not gonna chase you down.
I have to give that speech to adults all the time. I teach a comedy class. Okay. I have literally looked at all of them and be like, if you don't do your homework, I don't care. I don't give a shit. You get out of this, will you put into this?
Yeah.
You paid for this. If you don't show up to class, I don't give a fuck. Okay? Like, it's on you. Do you want to do this or not?
Yeah.
Because this is supposed to be fun and a nice time, and if you don't like it, then don't. Don't do this.
Exactly. And he's very good. And then she is working with him, which is great. She's struggling with one piece, and he's like, oh, I've picked another one for you.
Something that seems like it'll speak to you more.
Yeah. And she goes, no, I want to do the original. And then, like, does well at it. So he's impressed. But, like, that's not him, like, checking you to be like, oh, we've got to downgrade her because she's not talented enough. That's like, listen, man, different paces for different people.
He's adapting his style.
Yeah. Great. Loved that guy.
He, honestly, yes, every scene he was in, I'm like, you're the best teacher here.
Yeah.
You're the best teacher in this school, man. You're fucking killing it, dude. You're killing it.
Also, all the other students we see almost constantly practicing.
Yes.
And we never see Hilary Duff practice.
No, she's out on a romp at all times,
Yeah.
okay? She's having, and rightful emotional breakdowns. I'll give her that, okay?
She has had a tough year.
Your brother just died.
Just.
You went from graduation to this happens in August.
It's month long in August. So you went from so he, because he died the night of his graduation.
Yep.
So that's like what? June?
Yep.
So she's
And it's
in the
August.
and she's in the hospital for a while.
A little while at least, yeah.
And
So you woke up like 2 weeks ago and you're like, I'm just not doing well emotionally. Yeah, no shit.
Nobody in your family is doing well emotionally. Nobody is, and nobody should be.
And this, I think, is where we enter in and talk about dear old daddy. Dear old dad. Because holy fuck, could I not agree with him more. The entire movie, I was like, the rest of this family is being so unreasonable. It's madness. Mm-hmm. You just got out of the hospital. We probably just got rid of whatever, your black eye or whatever the fuck. Okay. You weren't waking up. Okay. Your mom cries tears of joy when you wake up. Thank God you're okay. Paul didn't make it. And now you're going to leave to a dangerous place. You're 16. We're going to let you go romp out on your own. No.
Zero adult supervision.
Zero.
She arrives at night and is locked out of the dorm. There's no one there to meet her. There's no one there.
welcome committee. No, like, oh, you're arriving at this time. Don't worry.
No, yeah, nobody who knew that she was arriving late.
She's
16 in LA by herself. Like I'm not like big city scary, but like
You're
16. She gets her shit stolen immediately as soon as she arrives there. It's her jacket, so it doesn't matter. But it's just like, he's kind of borne out on that almost immediately.
Yes. So
not only to say, I didn't even put together the time frame, but you're right. Like, she was in the hospital, not waking up in July. She has follow-up medical appointments.
I don't know. Maybe it was like 2 days. Who knows? Like, it could have been a day she was in the hospital.
At some point in July, she was not waking up from a coma.
Yeah.
And then she fucks off for a whole month in August. She would have follow-up appointments. You know what I mean? Like we're gonna do another CT scan. We're gonna make sure the swelling's gone down. We're gonna check up on you. You know,
you can't wait for. You gotta live your life. You can't mourn forever. And it's like, well, give it a minute at least. Maybe just give it a second though. Okay, Jesus, it happened yesterday. Get over it. He's only your brother.
And we were talking about this on the drive here, where you were like, it's a weirdly lighthearted movie, considering that the inciting incident is that a close family member dies. And the reason I think that is that we're both like, yeah, it's a super lighthearted movie, even though somebody dies. It's because this movie does something I don't think I've ever seen in any other movie, which is a mourning montage.
It does do a mourning montage. It does.
Where it's like
her mother crying in the room,
or her friend helping her. I was like, where every other movie wouldn't have the guts to gloss over the main emotional.
Wouldn't have the fucking stones.
They wouldn't have the stones.
Pussies, all of them.
They make the whole movie about that mourning process.
Somebody died.
This movie was like, no.
Oh, trauma happens? Get over it.
We're just going to make you flashback every time you see a bright light.
Buddy.
Yeah. I was like, the morning montage
was so,
it's so fun. It feels like they shot a longer version of that, and they were like, oh, no, this is too much of a downer. Let's cut it down.
Because this is very much like a family channel. It feels very Disney.
It's very much. Isn't it fun to sing and express yourself?
Yes. La, da, 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 do you know why you should believe in yourself? Because your brother died.
Yeah. Overcome.
Time to believe.
Yeah.
Time to believe in yourself.
And time to lie to your dad. Have everybody in your life lie to you a month after your son has died. And so it's just from the get, I can understand his motivation
Yep.
in wanting his daughter home
Yep.
after just losing his son. I think you kind of want to pull the family together.
Yeah. And his wife's like, Jesus, cut the umbilical cord already. And it's like, slow down, okay? This man is allowed to want his 16-year-old daughter at home and not ship her out to LA 1 month after your only son died.
Yes, because they were...
That's okay. Also because this child, we also have to monitor you because you're mourning. Okay, this isn't even all about me, man. This is like, you're a child going through you were in the car, okay? An extremely traumatic thing happened to you.
It was largely her fault, or like the result of her actions that they got in the car accident. No, sorry, I don't mean...
Her fault is strong words, I would say.
Yeah.
It was a drunk driver.
It was a drunk driver. They were out, they were driving. That's like, I actually do not mean to blame her, and the movie does eventually get to this where she goes like, I feel like it's my fault. Like,
which naturally, I think anybody would. If
we hadn't snuck out to go to that 3 days grace.
3 days grace. Oh, buddy.
Can you imagine that being your last concert?
Holy Hannah Wolf. I was scream laughing at 3 days grace. I was like, what a fucking drop on that. What a reference. Because like 3 days grace, they're a Canadian band. Are they not?
They might.
I think they are. I think they are a Canadian band, and like I only know one song. I hate everything about you.
Yeah, they had a minute.
They had but it was a minute, dude.
It was when Raise Your Voice was released in 2004. That was the start of that minute.
I love the thought that 3 days grace was like that was like the edgiest they could get. They were like, no, that'll be like, yeah, the son's a little edgy. That's what he likes.
He goes to 3
days grace. It killed me. 3 days grace, I'm gonna look it up, is a Canadian rock band.
Yeah.
Boom. Got it. Nailed it. So funny.
Yeah.
What a fucking pull.
But anyway, you want to help your daughter
Yes.
through the fact that she might want to blame herself for her.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
You're talking about a 16-year-old girl, okay? She's never like, and this is 2004, okay? Like this girl, you haven't even sent her to therapy, okay? She hasn't received any professional opinion, okay? Let her have a breakdown at home. Okay, because we watch her have a few breakdowns, okay? And reasonably so. And it would have been better if mom's home too, okay? Or if she actually did go to her aunt's, which also makes more sense to me even still. Where you're like, okay, yeah, she needs a change of venue, like looking at her brother's room is really bumming me out. Like,
sure.
I just need to get out of this space for a minute is a valid process, okay? That I totally get that. But you want to have that other fit. Like, even while I was watching it, I was like, it would have made, in my opinion, so much more fucking sense for them to be like, okay, we're going to tell your dad a little lie. We're going to tell him that you're going to come stay at my house. But what we're actually going to do is I'm going to come stay with you and you're going to do this program. I'm just going to rent a place for a month or something. I'm going to hang out in the city with you. I'm going to check in with you. I'm going to be here at all times. Okay. That even still would still not be great, but a much better lie.
Yeah.
Much better lie.
And I mean, the elaborateness of the lie, too, is also like so where he's like, well, I'm going to go drive to it's his sister, right? It's his sister.
It's sister.
It's his sister. I'm going to go drive to my sister's place and check up on my daughter.
Because I miss her.
Because I miss her and want to make sure that she's doing well.
And they're all like, oh, it's because he can smell it if things are amiss. I was like, no, he misses her.
He misses her. And, you know, and I'm sorry, but like if he can sense that something is amiss, what he's sensing is not you lied to me about where you are and what you're doing. If I feel like something's amiss, I'm assuming it has something to do with the trauma that you've just gone through. And maybe as a responsible dad who is very interested in protecting his kids, rightfully so at this point, you know, maybe to an extreme, but like is like, I'm going to go check on her.
Also, what a great dad to be like, I'm going to go drive and I'm going to go see my daughter. I'm going to go, just because I miss her and I want to see her and I want to hug her because she's my child. And I think a lot of people would beg their parents for that kind of love and affection.
Yeah.
That kind of love and attention.
The one thing I will say that did not fit with that dad character is the fact that she took the train to meet her aunt.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, that's a dad who would drive.
I thought that too.
That dad is driving you.
Yeah, he's going to drop you off.
Oh, let's take the train. Don't be ridiculous.
What the We're not. Do you know how expensive a train ticket is?
I'm just going to go. Yeah. I'll drive you. I'll drive you. Well, Dad, we don't want you to drive both ways. I don't care. I'll drive. Yeah.
Do you know what dads love?
Driving. I don't get it. Well,
I think it's the solitude. It's the peace and quiet, and it's the fact that you don't have to do anything except put a pedal down.
Yeah, and you're being of service to people
exactly.
as you're doing it.
No, I think that fulfills a lot of dad's boxes.
But I was like, that's the biggest plot hole in this movie is that is a dad who would never let you take a train.
I agree. That's a full agree with me.
Because he's like, you know what? Even if it's 4 hours in the car, it's 4 hours in the car with my daughter.
Yes.
I'm not gonna pass that up.
Yes. I think his whole argument really hinges on because his sister tries to paint it like, oh, well, he was the one that stayed with the diner. Okay, like he got a scholarship. His friend got some football. They both got football scholarships. His friend left to UCLA.
Got caught up in the LA
lifestyle Disney movie. We're not going to say what, but it was bad. He's having a bad time.
It's in LA.
You know those LA people. Anyway, and he stayed to, because his parents were, I think I can't remember, sick or...
They said that their parents weren't doing well.
So then he was the one that stayed to take over the diner instead of taking this scholarship. He stayed behind, and now he has a running, viable business and...
A family,
and he does well, and he has a great life, so I don't know why she's like, well, he just doesn't want you to do the same. No, he doesn't want his 16-year-old to leave 1 month after his son died.
Yeah.
That's what this man wants, okay? Yeah. That's all he wants. And even before, because, like, the whole thing is like, oh, well, he wouldn't have let her go anyway because he was pushing back on it. He's pushing back on it because she's 16. There's no parental supervision here. This is fuckery.
Yeah.
It's fuckery. Wait till you're 18 and then you can go wherever you want.
Yeah. They were getting ready for the son to leave and go to college.
Exactly.
Like, and now all of a sudden this family has to deal with like, they were already expecting it somewhat of a loss in the sense of like that he's going to move away and like the family's going to be different. Like that's not, but you can mourn for that. You can grieve for that. Cause his room's empty now, but like, that's like, he's moving on to things. And now the family's in a position where it's like, well, they've lost him. He's died. And now the daughter is also gone.
Yeah.
And
we
disappeared
blame 3 days grace.
3 days grace.
Canadian sons of bitches.
But the dad is even like, really off the start, the brother's like yelling. He's like, don't you think that she's special? Like, first of all, the son is just up the dad's ass for no reason.
Oh, the dad was barely saying anything. He was making a scene. He was over the top. I was like, I get it. You're a teen.
Yeah. That's literally what the dad's attitude is like, we get it. You're a teen.
Yeah,
you're mad angry at me for some reason.
Yeah.
You're leaving for college. This is your party. Just have fun. But the brother's screaming like, don't you think she's special? He goes, what are you talking about? Of course she's
the
special.
Most special girl in the
world. She's my daughter. She's the most special girl in the world. Are you out of your mind?
Yeah.
She's 16.
Yes. So valid. Because have you seen a 16-year-old lately? Every time I see somebody that's any sort of teen, I go, you are a literal baby.
Yeah.
How? Every time I see a teenager and I think about the stuff I did when I was a teen, I'm like disgusted. I'm horrified. I'm like, but you're just a baby.
You don't know.
You're just a little child. Like it's so fucking crazy.
Yeah.
Anyway, so point being is yes, I full ship the dad. Full ship.
And not doing something at 16 doesn't ruin it for your life. It's not like your dream is crushed. Like sure, getting a head start on things is great, but like, I don't know, just fucking deal with it. Can I share a theory, I think, with the dad?
Of course.
I think he's a closeted gay man.
Oh, whoa. Okay. Whoa. All right. What do you mean?
Well, so he had a friend, and they both got a scholarship to go, and his friend went and fell into the LA lifestyle, and he had to stay home and raise his family. And he had to be responsible and do this thing. I think that was his boyfriend. I think his boyfriend went away to LA, got to live the life that he wanted to, and he's because of his background or whatever, felt the need to lie and hide it and whatever, which is why he feels so strongly about like that's what people do. They stay and they deny who they are, and they show up for their family because that's what they do, whether you like it or not. So I don't think he's dissuaded by the fact that like, you know, his sister was like, oh, he'll succeed. He would have succeeded if he had gone to and taken that scholarship. I think he would have lived a very different life. I just think that's there. I don't know. It's subtext, but I think
I don't know if I agree.
No? Okay.
But, you know, very possible. Very possible.
Explains why he's so angry all the time.
Well, yeah, also just, you know, men.
I mean, it might be that. It might be that.
You know, sometimes men be menning. I also just hate the aunt based off of the fact that she doesn't own a TV. I fucking hate people that are like, I don't own a TV. I'm like, you, not once in the whole week, okay, in a whole calendar week, do you even think you'd watch like an artful movie? Like, get the fuck out of here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh, I don't own a TV. Anytime somebody said that to me, I hated that person. Not, just like it. Not that I started that way. I was like, okay, maybe that's fine. And then the more I find out about them, the more I'm like, oh no, you're all the worst.
Yeah.
They're all the worst people.
I don't believe in that. It's like, yeah, there's some good stuff. There's some good stuff. And you can't just be like, I don't know, reading all the time. Also, like, it's even more bullshit nowadays. It's like, well, you don't own a TV, but you have a computer.
Yeah.
That's it. You have a phone. Those are all TVs, you know?
Yeah. It's just, it's all a lot. I don't care for it.
Yeah.
Let us talk about this boy. I hate this boy. I do not like this man. I do not care for this boy. This love interest. Okay. He is just the worst. He's the worst. First of all, you can tell he's older than her. Okay, for point one.
Yeah.
Okay, he's already been here. Okay. So you're in an upper level, in my opinion.
Yeah,
okay?
Same with Robin. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. Okay, so you're older than her. The first interaction you have with her, you start like being rude and nagging her a bit, and like your instinct. That's your instinct. That's your default. Okay, so that's not good. On
because
base.
he's like playing with her about not letting her in.
Yeah, and I'm like, a young woman that arrived late at night. You think it's funny whether she can get into the building or not? You're fucked.
Also, there should be an adult there, but whatever.
But yes, regardless, you're fucked in your head. Okay, that's not correct. Okay. And then, okay, I want to get into the big thing, which is Robin kisses him. Like,
oh, yes. Yeah.
The whole thing is like, Terry sees them kissing. And first of all, that wasn't a peck. It wasn't a 1 second kiss. They were macking. Okay. You were participating. He was like, no, you don't understand. She kissed me. And I'm like, okay, kissing happens slowly in a sense, okay? You can tell when somebody's getting into your personal space. No one's ever really, unless they grabbed my face, surprised me with a kiss. Unless it was like the quickest of pecks, because then you can go, whoa, hold on now.
And in which case, you're probably bumping foreheads.
Yeah, exactly. Like I'm like pushing you off of me. You know what I mean? Like it's fast, yeah. Okay? You wanted to participate too. You're claiming that it's fine because she's the one that kissed you, even though you participated. And then this results in you getting fucking shit can hammered, and then showing up at her door, being like, "You don't understand the love of my life." Oh my God. Denise is right. Take out the trash. Okay. Yeah. Denise did not say one wrong thing. Her roommate, the entire movie did not say one wrong thing at a moment. She was like, even when Hilary was like,
unimpressed with the fact that how they resolved that thing was like he shows up drunk, and then that's
That's it, yeah.
is a dick move.
Yes.
Don't, especially if you're 17 or whatever it is. Like, don't, you show up drunk to, and then she takes care of him all night.
Yep.
Like on the roof. Mm-hmm. And then that's that argument resolved. I was like, no. You have two issues now. One is she kissed you or you kissed her or whatever. We'll evaluate that later. And the other one is you chose to deal with that by getting drunk, showing up, and then I had to take care of you all night. Fuck off.
Yeah, take out the trash. Denise is constantly like, this man is trash.
Yeah.
Like, she says it a couple of times, and she is 1,000,000% correct.
You know the point I clocked it was? Where he goes like, well, come on, like I've told you all about me. Like, what's your, like, tell me about you. What's up with you? What's your deal? Which is a fine, legitimate question. Yep. And she kind of goes like, well, it's really hard for me to talk about, but like, my brother just died in a car accident. And he goes, oh, sorry, I gotta go.
Go, bye.
And he ditches her like... And I don't know if that was like a character choice or like a screenwriting thing where they need to move on to the next scene.
I have no
or whatever.
But
I was
did not
like,
make him look good.
No, you're like, you said something like tragic and awful that's hard for you to say, and I'm like, oh, sorry, I gotta go. Bye. Like, no, you're locked in. You're locked in. You listen to that whole story. I don't care if you're not even romantically interested in her. Someone comes to you and they're like, well, it's hard for me to talk about. My brother just died. Mm-hmm. Couple questions. They're opening it up to you. You're like, oh my God, when, how?
It doesn't matter if I need to go. Oh, I'm locked in now.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't care if I have a dentist appointment in 5 minutes. Oh no, you've said something big. I have to pay attention now.
Let's go grab a seat somewhere if you want to talk about it. Yeah. I was like, oh, sorry, bye.
Bye.
I told you how my parents got a divorce and moved to different countries.
Yeah.
And it's like, I'm so cool and hip and it's all about my music.
No.
Oh, your brother died? Oh, well, I don't want to deal with that.
No, he seems like the type of guy that'd be like, well, tears is a type of lube, so let's fucking go. Okay, he just doesn't give a fuck. Okay.
No, he doesn't.
At no point does he give, although, okay, I will say, I love that you brought up the roof. I forgot about the roof. The roof makes me laugh so hard because I love how she presents it like, this is my secret special spot where I think, and I'm like, the roof of the building where there's a bunch of teens, this is everybody's spot. Toots. Like, I don't think you found the magic door to the roof and you're like, this is where I process. And it's like, no, everybody's been up here. This is actually, we all smoke weed up here.
Yeah. Sexual favors have been done on this roof.
Yes. A couple of handies have gone out.
Yeah.
What are you talking about? I'm like, you're not Batman. This isn't your spot where you're like, this is where I think and look over the city. It's like, what are you talking about? What is this? It made me laugh so fucking hard.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I love Hilary Duff so much. This guy, I cannot get. Oh, I forgot how trash he is.
Yeah.
He is front to back, full garbage, negs her the whole time, is just like, her roommate doesn't like her. And her roommate, and I kind of like the way they did this because, first of all, they try and paint it like she's rude and mean. And I'm like, no, this woman crashed into her room when she was already asleep, turned on the light, said, hey, I'm your roommate. And it's like, bitch, I'm in bed. And she didn't take kindly to that. And then Hilary's like, I feel like you don't like me. And it's like, no, I'm just really focused and you're really not even close. So
yeah. So this is the most important thing to me.
And she said it, I think, very well to her, where she was like, listen, you and I don't have a problem, okay? You and me, we don't have a problem. I'm just really focused. I don't have time for these friendships. I don't have time for this bullshit. She's like, you seem to be, honestly kind of implied, like, you seem to be wrapped up in some shit, and I don't want to, I don't even want to fucking touch that. And yeah, by the end of the movie, I was like, if Denise, who is the only one, I feel like, really hauling, other than Robin maybe, hauling ass, okay, just trying, every day, grind. And then she gives a speech about how she really needs that scholarship because, you know, like her mom, I think, owns a clothing business and it's struggling a little bit and it would just go a long way. And I thought to myself, I'm like, after they give that speech, if she doesn't get this motherfucking scholarship and it goes to Hilary Duff, I'm going to fucking lose it. And they knew they did that. They were like, no, we do have to give it to Denise. And I was like, that's much better. Also because she was better.
She was.
She was much more talented.
She was much better. She was talented.
She was way more musically talented than most other people. Other than, I would say, maybe the only other guy that interested me was Kiwi, where I was like, oh, Kiwi's slapping. He's out here trying some experimental shit.
He is trying something. I hated Kiwi. I absolutely hated that man. First of all, just the constant drumming on everything. I was like, we get it. You're a drummer. Fucking relax. Like you don't see a flautist walking around just blowing on everything. Like all the time. That's and just he's like, oh, Kat Dennings, you've stolen my heart, and she doesn't even know it. Yeah, because you haven't exchanged a word with her.
Although I do get that.
You
Kat Dennings, come on.
No, don't get me wrong.
Come on.
I get it.
She's the coolest girl of all time.
Yeah.
She's the coolest girl of all time.
She's super great. I loved to see her in the Thor movies and stuff like that. I couldn't
believe how the casting of this movie. I forgot. I was like, oh, there's like a lot of people in this, in a sense. Yeah.
But I hated how he was like, oh, she doesn't even know. Just fucking get the balls and talk to her. And then has Hilary Duff go ask her out for him. So just to be clear, Kat Dennings doesn't know Hilary Duff.
Yep.
Kat Dennings doesn't know this Kiwi kid.
Yep.
So she just shows up, interrupts her rehearsal. She's practicing in this room, interrupts her and goes like, there's a boy who likes you that you don't know, and you don't know me, but I'm here to ask you out for a boy that you don't know. No. I can't imagine. Like that's
somebody's never had hormones.
Like, are you? No, and I get the like ask her out for me because we're all fucking cowards at that age. But like, it's just the worst mystery box you could like. If you're like, hey Craig, are you interested in whatever's in this box? I'd be like, no.
Yeah.
Like I don't know what this guy looks like. I don't know what his deal is. And then the way they kind of get together, I was like, this doesn't strike me right either. Where it's like, she bursts into his rehearsal room because he's drumming and interrupting her piano.
Yep.
And I'm like, well, first of all, he is in a rehearsal space for drums.
Yeah.
In a music school.
Yeah.
That thing is soundproof to the tits.
Should be.
You know what I mean?
Should be. Yeah. Should be.
That is exactly where he should be drumming.
Yeah.
But she yells at him, and then he just gets up and they kiss. And I was like, I hate this. I hated every
I love that.
Really?
Loved it.
Wow.
Loved it.
I did not think you would have that take.
Loved
Really?
it. Yeah.
Explain yourself to me.
The outfit she showed up in for the date indicates to me that she's never made out with anybody, and I think she just needs to rip that Band-Aid off one way or the other.
Okay.
That's how I feel about that.
All right.
Okay, there are a couple of weirdos. They were like, let's get these kids together.
All right, fair enough.
You don't have to agree with me.
I don't know. I found him super annoying. I found like someone just have a conversation with this woman, you know?
Yeah, but I don't think that's really what she wanted either.
Yeah, fair enough.
Honestly, she was just like, listen, he's interested. I'm down. There's some tension happening here with the upsettedness and the yelling, and I think, yeah.
That's true. It is a music school. It's
a music school. They're all band kids. Welcome to it. Okay.
Yeah. There should be an adult walking around with a spray bottle.
Absolutely. Oh my God. Being a teen is a nightmare.
Just like get off of each other. This is gross.
Jesus Christ.
This whole dorm smells like
no, don't
smells
even.
Like teenager grossness. No.
Yep. And it's so funny because the only thing they really instill is like they have a 10 p.m. curfew. And
11 p.m. on weekends.
11 p.m. on weekends. And I'm like, who's monitoring that?
Again, 16-year-olds. Like it's one thing if this was like 18 and this is a college and like you're an adult now, we don't care.
Yes.
But like this is a summer program for the college.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the other thing. Hilary Duff wasn't even probably wasn't even she wouldn't even be allowed to get the scholarship because she would like come back next year for the summer program like Robin did.
Yeah.
Like Robin probably could actually get the scholarship.
I think Hilary technically could get the scholarship, but I just think it would be better placed elsewhere, obviously.
Yeah, to someone graduating high school that year and going on to professional music schools.
Because, like, also this entire family is not hard done by. Okay, your family owns a diner that have been passed down through at least generation.
Yep.
Your aunt does, I want to say, like, 20-foot sculptures. I think she's doing fine as well. I think they're all doing fine as far as money goes, and there's just no need for it. Also, okay, this is gonna sound, and I'm probably wrong, and I understand that I'm wrong, but I just feel like somebody that can play an instrument should win.
Like as opposed to a voice singing?
Yeah, like just one voice. I'm just like, if you were singing and playing something, I'd be interested. And I understand it's a hard skill. I can't sing. Okay, I say that as somebody that can't fucking sing. Okay, I can't sing a goddamn note. I actually think I'm tone deaf. I can't. Okay.
Yeah.
But there's just something about it. I don't even know what it is. I just feel like if you're in a music school, you should be able to at least just passable, okay? You don't have to be super gifted at it. But if she could just pick up a guitar at one moment, I would feel better.
Yeah. I think the movie needed to do a better job of explaining how you get better at singing. Because I think you and I like probably look at someone playing the violin and you go like, oh yeah, you got to practice that. Because like
obviously you have to practice singing.
That's a thing, right? Yes. Like you got to move the bow and you got to like learn. Like I understand that you have to learn to play the piano. But it's like we all have voices.
That's why I don't know why, and I know I'm wrong even while I'm saying this because I understand that singing's a skill.
It's a texture, though,
and you really have to practice. But it also feels like singing generally is something that you can be born with. In a sense, like you can have a naturally good voice.
Yeah.
Whereas all these instruments, I'm like, you have to work.
Yeah. And again, I'll just go back to it. Like, I think you just need a couple scenes where you go, like, we're really working on breath control today.
Yeah.
And we're working on hitting that note. And you need to, you need to have the explain to us is like, you need to have this physical stamina to sit there and hold this note. And you need to, like, exercise your diaphragm and, you open up your lungs and like this is how you need to sit and this is like the throat and the nasal or resonator cavities and you need to like make sure that they're positioned because that all goes into singing, right?
Yes, like that would make it more impressive.
Right,
you're right,
exactly. Because you and I understand that you have to learn an instrument and we don't, and like we haven't learned how to speak since we were kids.
Yeah,
right. We haven't thought about our voices since we were kids.
Yeah,
which is
right.
terrible to say as someone who does a podcast.
I swear to God, it's probably equally as hard,
if not harder.
It's just there's something about it while I'm watching it where I'm like, oh, this would have even passed better in my mind if they were all singers. Yes. Like if this was just not like a music place, but if this was a space where it was like, no, we're all singers.
Also, would have passed better if Hilary Duff was such a good singer in this, and she's kind of not.
Well, yeah, like Hilary Duff, and again, I'm stan Hilary Duff. I love her. Okay, she is a fine singer. She's fine. Okay, she's not. It kind of reminded me of Crossroads when it's like. Britney, it's like, I love rock and roll. And it's like, yeah, but you didn't really blow it out of the water in the way that this movie is trying to indicate. Like, it just doesn't feel, even the last song she sings where I'm like, it's very Disney pop. It's very fun, but it's not like I listened to that and I was like, oh my God, give her everything.
Yeah.
This woman's going to be a star. Like, when they keep talking about, like, where's the girl in the video? I was like, that was the most mediocre video.
Yeah. Oh.
Where's the girl from the video? And I'm like, also,
je ne sais quoi to you.
there was a little part of it where it was just like, it was too music video-y to be shot by your brother. I'm sorry.
Yeah. I agree.
Anyway, point being is that, you know what? I actually think that might be more my problem with it, is that she just didn't blow it out of the water.
100%. And
you're right. I think that's what the problem is.
Yeah, because we've all heard singers, and you hear them and you go, dear God.
Yes, dear Lord.
The best example I can give of that is like when we went to go, Kat and I went to go see Hadestown the night that we got engaged or whatever. The plot of that is the old Greek legend of like Persephone and stuff like that. And the thing is like he's going to write a song that's so good, it's going to it's going to change Hades' mind. And like
that's very funny.
And it's like and that's the pitch. And I just go to Kat during intermission. I was like, man, that's a hard thing to pitch to us, where it's like this next song is going to be so good it changes the mind of a god. And then I was like, this song better be fucking good. And then they sing, and I was like, no, they got lucky. That's a good song. I was like, they did the shit.
They got it.
They did the shit at it. That was real good. That was real good.
Yes.
I'm convinced.
I'm convinced it would convince the devil. Yes.
Well played.
Good job. Yeah, that's so funny. Yeah, I think it just didn't do, and that's the other reason why I was like, you better give that to Denise. Yeah. You better be fucking giving that to Denise, okay? Because you guys kind of saying like a bop, like a fun time, but yeah, you didn't really break any windows. I'll tell you that.
No,
it wasn't like Eds and Dales over everybody else. Anyway, in summation, the dad was absolutely fucking correct.
He was also absolutely correct, by the way, to rush to LA to pick her up.
Yeah. Everyone in my family has lied to me. I'm very upset. It's time to come get you. I've packed up all your things. Great. But I also get her being like, the performance is right now.
Yeah, and he relents on that.
Just let me sing. And he's like, yeah, okay. Yeah,
that's fine. He goes like, oh, you're very good. I'm proud of you. I am not proud of this whole family for lying to me for a month.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that when I get home.
Absolutely.
But yes.
Oh, God.
There for the dad, for sure.
Okay, and that is who I am ranking. I'm going to tell you that for free. I've got the raising. I've got the raising scale.
Right.
So from raising your wage to barn raising, I'm going to give the father a raise the roof. Okay, you're good fun. You're classic. You're great, and I've got no notes for you.
Great.
Okay,
love it.
Perfect.
I love it. I've got the lie to your dad scale.
Oh shit.
So on a scale of don't tell your dad what we bought him for Christmas.
Aw, that's cute.
Yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, it's a nice lie.
Yeah. To going to a music school for a month in a different state with zero adult supervision, like weeks after your brother has died.
That's right.
I'm going to give the dad lying to your dad about borrowing the car. He's just worried about you.
Oh,
he's just worried about you.
Yeah, that does feel like that. Yes.
Yeah, he's
just worried. He misses you. Why are you driving away?
Absolutely. And
why
guys,
are you leaving?
Guys, and before we get to our heroes and villains of the week in a second, just a couple ways that you can support the podcast. So if you want to get into touch with us, you can do that. We're on social media. Villain Was Right on Instagram, Facebook, and TikTok. If you want to see our smiling dumb faces, say smiling dumb things, that's where you can find that. As well, if you want to suggest a movie, like as Rebecca said, this was a suggestion.
Hell yeah.
Someone was like,
thank you for it.
Yeah.
You champion.
You can email us at villainwasright@gmail.com. We do read everything. We do write down all your suggestions, even if we're not the best at getting back to people. Just know that we do read.
You're in a file.
You're in a file somewhere. We have read you. We will get back to you probably eventually. New year, new us, right?
Hey, coming up. I say that every year. Every year I say that.
So that's the best way to get us. And guys, if you got a couple bucks,
as always, we are on Patreon. Patreon.com/Villain Was Right. We actually have a new cool thing. There's a new cool thing on Patreon. And if you're like, hey, I forgot to give someone a Christmas gift and I'm panicking in a bathroom right now. Are you listening to us in a bathroom right now going, oh God, I forgot to give my aunt that gift, but she loves us. You could purchase you can gift our Patreon to your lovely, to your peoples, okay? To your peoples.
To your cool aunt,
To your cool aunt.
Who listens to The Villain Was Right?
Yeah, that's
kidding me?
right. She's cool as hell. So if you're doing that, you could totally do that. We have 2 bonus episodes a month. We have ad-free tiers. We got it all. It's all popping. So head on over to patreon.com/thevillainwasright. And if you're a listener, you're listening to this right now, thank you for listening. As always, just your continued support means the world to us. I really mean it. And now it is time for our heroes and villains of the week. What do you got, Craig?
I got a villain this week, but I do just want to quickly mention that as we're sitting here recording, our producer Diana has texted me from the other room telling us that 3 days grace is from Norwood, Ontario.
That's right. That's right, everybody. Canadian rock group.
Norwood, Ontario.
That's right.
I've never even heard of Norwood.
No, I have no idea where that is.
But anyway, yes, in addition to 3 days grace, I also have a villain this week. My villain of the week is just a light, weird one for between this thing. Is women's shoes.
Ooh, okay. That's valid already. I can tell.
Already.
Valid already.
Here's the thing. This was like a couple weeks ago. I was coming home from the bar. So this is like the one thing about living in Toronto is it doesn't matter how long you've been here. No one is ever quite sure when the last subway is.
No, super valid. I got caught in this last weekend.
Yeah.
I was waiting. Like my app said there was still one coming.
They'll tell you like at what point the last train will leave like the terminal stations, but then like for any stop in between, it's madness.
Fuckery.
So all this that just sets the scene of like this is when this all went down. Yep. So I was down on the subway and I was like, okay, good, I still have time, and I just sort of catch this girl across on the opposite platform. And I'm just seeing her. She's got like the thigh high, like high heeled boots.
Hell yeah!
But clearly she is done for the night because she sits down and she pulls out her bag and she pulls out a pair of sneakers and she starts like changing her shoes.
You got your shoes, your travel shoes.
Your travel shoes. And I'm like, I get it. Absolutely. That makes total sense. And she's going real slow. And then I'm like, oh no, girl, the train is coming. The train is coming. And the train enters the station and leaves. And she has just continued sitting on that bench, changing her shoes. And I was like, I knew that women's shoes were uncomfortable. I didn't know they were maybe miss the last train home uncomfortable. I didn't know that was the priority. And I was like, this is new to me.
Yep.
Yeah. And I think she caught another one. I think a second train came and she got on before I got on mine. Yeah. I was like, good, you made it, right choice. But I was like, not a risk I would take.
Oh, no, buddy. I'm getting on to my socks. I don't care. It's just
you can finish this on the train.
We're gonna finish this. I don't even care. We're in Toronto. You're not even gonna give me a weird look. Okay. No. It's just people going about their business. Okay. I have a villain. I just thought this was so funny. So I was talking to this guy and I have what the hell is it? I have like a VR set, like I have an Oculus Quest 2, and I love Beat Saber. I've talked about this on the podcast before. Like I like VR. I love Beat Saber. I love like mini putt, whatever. Okay, I'm into it. So people know I'm into that, right? So somebody I know came up to me and was talking to me and being like, "Oh my God, like." Isn't it so cool? I got one for like a family, but they were like, oh, I bought one for a family member for Christmas. And they go, so I obviously, like, they were like, they let me, use it for a bit, take a rip on it. And he looks at me and he goes, isn't the porn crazy? And I was like, I beg your pardon? And he goes, yeah, isn't the porn like so crazy? He was like, it was like the first thing I tried. And I was like, I have had this machine for years, Craig, years. And it had never occurred to me to do that. Okay. I was like, what are you talking about? How, as a human being, can you get a machine and the first thing you think is, how do I fuck it? That's crazy. Buddy, that's so insane. Okay, I can't. Anyway, he's my light villain, but still, I'm like, I question.
And this was somebody else's, like they had bought it for somebody else? Oh, see, that's the worst part.
Yes!
Yeah.
You're getting all, like, I know it's not this, but I'm like,
I don't want some, yeah.
I don't want, honestly, if you had told me that you put my hat on while you were naked, I'd still be like, why?
Yeah.
Why, man?
I know there's no difference, but like,
Damn it.
Yeah.
And how can your first thought be, how do I fuck this thing? Jesus Christ. Anyway, that's it. It's casual. It's like, he's not that big. Yeah, I just thought, that's so funny. Like, I've owned this thing for years, and the first thing you thought of was, yeah.
Oh, now the idea's in your head.
I actually have honestly... Because I just think, I'm like, here's my thing. It's not that I don't think I wouldn't like it. I think I would like it, okay? But the problem is where does it end?
Right.
Where does this thing fucking end, okay? Because if I start really liking that, then we just keep escalating, and there's just no need. Okay,
right,
I guess we don't need it. Okay, the more I can get away from that, the better. So please, and thank you. Anyway, I want to say this very clearly, like not as a judgment for anybody that does that. Okay, like do your thing. If you use your VR console for porn, like this is not. I just think it's wild that was the first thought. That's all I'm trying to pitch here. Is that 100%. It was the first thing out of your dome. Anyway, that is it for us here. As always, you can follow me at Rebecca Reads on any platform of your choosing.
Yeah, and you can follow me at Crankfade Comedy on Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, crankfade.com for show dates. January 10th, 11th, I'll be in Hamilton at Levity Comedy, and then you can catch me January 21st through 26th headlining at Absolute Comedy in Ottawa. And that does it this week for us on the podcast. Stay tuned next week when we're starting off the new year right.
I'm so pumped.
We're starting off the new year right with Demolition Man.
One of my all-time favorites.
Wesley Snipes.
Come on.
Sandra Bullock.
Get out of town.
There we go.
Get it.
We're there for it. It'll be a fun one, so check in with that. And until then, this is The Villain Was Right, wishing you a happy new year, and also to remind you to check your blind spots.
The Villain Was Right was produced by Andrew Ivimey for the From Superheroes Network. For more great podcasts like this, as well as YouTube series, webcomics, and so much more, visit FromSuperheroes.com.